one nut. Hello my beautiful geekies and welcome to my review for The Program, directed by Stephen Frears and written by John Hodge, based on a book by David Walsh. It stars Ben Foster, Chris O'Dowd, Lee Pace, Jesse Plemons and Guillaume Canet. As I said, this movie is based on the book by David Walsh. He was an Irish sports journalist who started suspecting that Lance Armstrong was doping during his Tour de France, ever since his first. With this conviction, David Walsh will start hunting down the evidence that will in fact incriminate Armstrong. I'm not a big sports follower, least of all cycling, but I know the history of Lance Armstrong, at least superficially, and I think it's a story that we all know or heard of to various different degrees. And I was interested in this movie. It's a biopic, one more to add to the bunch. I really enjoy seeing these biopics, especially when it comes to sports athletes. And I really enjoyed Ben Foster in this movie. He gives a terrific performance as Lance Armstrong. He hits very different degrees in his performance as he goes through the stages that Lance Armstrong went through in his career, from the moment he started, to when he started doping, to when he started developing cancer, to when he recuperated from that cancer, to when he came back, and so on and so forth. He hits all those levels really well with a very well layered performance. As well as this Chris O'Dowd playing the journalist David Walsh. I really enjoyed his performance. He also hit many different degrees, which is something I was astonished by, because even in comedy, which is what he is known for, I never really did care for him. He never really spoke to me much. I never found him anything special. But in this movie, what a terrific performance for this guy. I was really happy to how surprised he made me. Then you have Lee Pace and Jesse Plemons, who are not in this movie much, but when they are, they do a very good job. Their characters are not that very well fleshed out. And that is the main problem with this movie. I never said anything about a big cast. I didn't run down a big list of names in the beginning of this review, and I'm not telling you about a whole lot of characters. And that's the problem with this movie, is that it does not focus on anything quite enough. For the most part, it seems like this movie has an identity crisis. If you go back to the beginning of this review, watch as I tell you the plot of this movie. Fairly simple, right? It's going to focus on David Walsh and his, let's say, rivalry with Lance Armstrong as he's hunting down this athlete. It really isn't. This movie seems to want to focus on David Walsh, but then turns the focus to Lance Armstrong. At the middle of the movie, it starts to develop a focus onto Jesse Plemons' character, and then it starts developing a focus on the whole conspiracy in general and the doping part of this movie. It really seems like an unfocused movie, which, as I said, is fairly well directed. There are very beautiful shots in this movie, and when this director seems to focus the most, and that is when he goes to Lance Armstrong or David Walsh, he does a really good job. But for the most part, this movie really doesn't know who or what it wants to focus on. There's a whole entire sequence of Lance Armstrong doping with his friends, and we've already seen that before, and it's a scene that brings nothing new to the table. It's a scene where they are talking about Hollywood wanting to make a movie about Lance Armstrong and the different actors that are being rumored to play Lance Armstrong. And I just thought it didn't fit the movie in general, or it didn't fit trying to go on with the story. As I said before, Ben Foster plays a terrific role in this movie, and my favorite scene of him, as far as performance goes, is the scene where he's in the hospital as he's recuperating from chemotherapy. Watch that scene. It is fantastic. All around, really good performances with two really terrific ones. I'm sure the book is fantastic, but this movie just didn't know where it wanted to focus on. And the movie really could have benefited for even more 20 minutes of screen time. This movie is 1 hour and 40 minutes, and it really leaves a lot on the table. It's not a bad movie at all. You can enjoy it. It's a good look at Lance Armstrong's story. It's a good look at David Walsh's story. It's a fairly good look at the whole conspiracy in the doping of the sport of cycling. It's a movie that will leave you wanting more, and it might make you interested in reading the book. With all that said, it is really a movie that you're not missing much without seeing it, but I am still going to give the program a C+. What did you think of the program? Did you like it? Did you not? Are you a fan of Lance Armstrong? Are you a fan of the sport of cycling? Did you read the book by David Walsh? Let me know all of that in the comments below, and let me know what is your favorite sports biopic. As you guys know, we are running the hashtag squad Q&A. Just leave your comments below with any questions you want about anything you want with the hashtag squad Q&A for me to answer in my Suicide Squad Q&A coming in the first weekend of August. And of course, that will be the biggest giveaway in this channel so far. Lots of tutorial reviews that I did this past week and weekend, so go to the channel and check them all out. And also in the description below there are links to my Facebook and my Instagram and my Pop Price Guide page, and I urge you to go check all of those out. And if you haven't done it yet, please subscribe and join our beautiful geeky community, and we can be geeky united. I will have many more reviews and special videos coming for you guys this weekend and the next week, so I hope to see you all there on those videos, which are coming right here on the Geekness Overlord channel. Cheers!